Get ready with me. I wanted to share a message with you that has been coming through for a while now. Gosh, maybe a couple months, but I haven't really been giving it a lot of focus or attention because I wanted to try and write it off. But recently it unfolded and the message deepened itself. And the way that I experienced that is that I kind of got a little bit more of the backstory and more of the why behind this message. And I can be a little stubborn, so I kind of need to know why. Why is this something that's important to do? And the message has been go slow, slow down, pause, soak in the beauty more, be in the moment more. And so initially I was kind of like, yeah, that sounds really nice, but there's a lot to do, as a working single mom. And especially lately, even in my free time, I kind of want to fill it with producing and creating because I feel so much creative energy in my body. And I guess my logic has kind of been, why would that energy be here if I'm not supposed to do something with that energy? And so it's been really tempting to override the message, but it keeps showing up. Slow down, pause. But the way that this message recently deepened for me, actually, it really started to come through very clearly as recently as yesterday. The information that I picked up on is that what many of us are wanting to manifest next is going to require that we be in our Empress energy in order to manifest it. In tarot, the Empress is this beautiful divine feminine energy that is feminine leadership. It's extremely fertile energy. The Empress is sometimes depicted as being pregnant, and that's meant to really highlight the fact that she's brimming with possibility. Her leadership is meant to give rise, to give birth to something that is very central, very important for that feminine's life and for the work that she is committed to doing for her calling. That can be in your immediate world, in your family life, and it can be on a very big scale as well. But the main message being that maintaining an Empress frequency is challenging. It's not an impulsive energy. Think of pregnancy in and of itself. It takes time for a baby to be born. There's no rushing that process. And the Empress knows this. She's not trying to rush the process. She's trusting divine timing. Sometimes the most important life generating things that we can do simply take time. And so the slow down message really started to come through for me with this additional explanation, essentially that right now is a really pivotal time. And the decisions that are being made moving forward are very important. And that source, God, is very much guiding that process, very much attempting to send clear guidance. But that guidance is very, very hard to tap into if you're rushing. In fact, you're likely to kind of speed on past it. You're going to overlook it. This message really came to me with an emphasis on a gift that a lot of feminines have without necessarily knowing it, and that is clairsentience. Clairsentience is clear sensing. It's that intuition that kicks in. It's this knowing where you can't really explain why, but you know that you're supposed to go this way. Because if you think about going this other way, it feels wrong in the body. There's something about it, even though it might be the most logical choice, there's something about it that does not feel right in the body. This clairsentience ability that we have is really a divine gift because it's this internal radar that's constantly attempting to steer us in the direction of our highest good and for the highest good of people around us. But we stubbornly override it a lot. And for many of us, we're moving so fast that we're not even picking up on it at all. We've lost touch with our body's signals. Many people are kind of at a loss for how this would even feel in the body because the mind-body connection over time can really erode to the point where we don't even feel the subtle flickers, the subtle body communicating to us. Many people don't even sense the physical body's pretty strong nudges, like messages to get rest or eat food, will override even those strong physical sensations, let alone the messages from the subtle body. So with clairsentience, to strengthen that ability, we really have to practice reconnecting with our body and its signals. And it really just takes practice. It's something that everyone can do if they commit themselves to strengthening that connection again. But going back to the go slow part of this message is this awareness that really has started to land for me that in order to pick up the guidance that we're supposed to be getting from source at this time about what the next step in our lives might be, if we're moving too fast and if our ego is driving the bus so stubbornly that it will not let go of the wheel and trust the body's knowing and instead prioritizing the ego mind's desire to feel superior to all of this information that's in the body, we will miss the messages, we'll miss the guidance about what to do moving forward. But the thing is I don't think I've ever received the message before that a manifestation that's waiting in the wings would be requiring Empress energy in order to access it. That message to me hit so hard because, like I said, the Empress is in no rush. She's very tapped into her feminine power, regardless of the gender that you identify with. Empress energy is in all of us. Empress energy is very cued in to the signals and to intuition, very tapped into spirit, and very able to use that information to lead, to guide, to teach, to nurture. Empress energy is very maternal. It's the maternal in her full power. And so here's the specific guidance that I was picking up on about how to navigate this energy, how to really work with it, how to really learn how to tap into this way of being, which is very different than like the hustle and grind way of being. The process that I picked up on looks a little bit something like this. Step 1, take a step that you would identify as aligned action. A step that feels very aligned with what it is that you currently feel is right for you. Take one step. In other words, you're not just sitting back and doing nothing. You are taking steps, but take one, and then step 2, pause. After you take that one aligned action step, pause. Don't sprint forward. Don't continue to take steps. Pause right there and sit with your body. How did that feel? What emotions did it bring up? Did it trigger any wounds? Were you anxious? Were you having a hard time holding the power that that step required of you? Pause and listen to your body's informational feedback that it's trying to send you about how well that step truly aligned with you and whether your next step needs to be a course correction or whether you're on the right track. It's sort of like collaborating with your body one step at a time. Because in doing so, you're also collaborating with spirit. Spirit will be communicating to you through your body's messages. So it's like one baby step, check in. How was that? Did that take me out of a place of feeling like I'm in my integrity, or did it move me toward that? Did that exhaust me? If it did, it was too big of a step. Did that step allow me to stay in my body, stay in the present moment, or did it really lead me to become disconnected with myself in order to make that step happen? Because what you want to be sensing into is whether each step that you take lands you in Empress energy. If you feel like the step that you took you out of Empress energy, then step 3 is, what do you need to adjust in order to be able to hold on to that energy? I'll give an example. So let's say that an action step that I have to take is I want to really post this video. I want to get it out today, if possible. And so I go ahead and do that. And I pause and I sit with, how did that feel? Let's say that when I sit with the, how did it feel? What I sense in my body is a hustle for worthiness kind of feeling. Like, did anyone even like it? This energy of looking for validation of worth outside of you. That's very common, right? When you create content, that's a very common thing to wrestle with, is to feel okay with what you post, regardless of how it's received, as long as it's authentically aligned with you. If I post something and I sit with my body afterwards and I feel this sense of like, oh, nobody likes it, maybe I should delete it, I don't know, then it's time for me to stop and get myself back into alignment with Empress energy. Empress energy doesn't care about that. Empress energy doesn't necessarily care if anybody likes the moves that she's making. She's making moves that are aligned with her knowing, and she's not second guessing that. She's doing what she knows is right for her from a place of power and authority. It doesn't mean that we did anything wrong if we fall out of that Empress integrity. It's simply asking, hey, what might need to be adjusted so that next time you can stay in alignment with that? Because holding that vibration is what's going to allow you to call in your highest timeline. This is really a journey toward accessing our highest timeline at the end of the day. If we're taking steps too quickly, we will take steps that lead us outside of our Empress integrity. It might look like we're making progress, but on the inside, we're really chipping away at our foundation. The progress that we're making is not built on a solid foundation, and it's likely to crumble right underneath us. Manifesting from that place is not what we want if we're trying to manifest our highest timeline. And manifesting our highest timeline always necessarily is a co-creative process with Source, with the divine. It's something that we cannot claim to know on our own because we can't know all the factors. And if you've ever co-created anything with anyone, you know that the process takes longer than creating something on your own. Collaboration means slowing down and making sure that we're on the same page, making sure that this is still in alignment with what both of us are wanting out of the process. Another way to look at it is in terms of frequency. If what you're aiming for is your highest possible frequency that's available for you at this time, then you have to train yourself to hold the vibration of that frequency in your body. That requires slow, gradual, aligned movement. Checking in with the body, which is where Source is going to communicate. Checking in with our intuition, which is also going to draw our attention to signs and signals that present themselves on our path that are very easy to miss if you're sprinting. But if you're taking one step at a time, you can stop and notice, oh, this direction is literally lit up for me. I can see it. I'm clearly supposed to go that way. I want to make it clear I'm not just talking to women. It actually makes me really sad that this ability to sense into the body and its deepest knowing is something that men are not necessarily taught or encouraged to access. Divine masculines, you have access to this too. You do have divine feminine energy on the inside. We are all comprised of both. Again, this is not about gender. This is about healing imbalances in the body with respect to our feminine and masculine energies, learning how to tap into both depending on what the situation requires. But when it comes to intuition, when it comes to things like clairsentience, with things like accessing messages from Holy Spirit, it's mostly going to be in our divine feminine. We have to train ourselves to be able to hold that. We have to restructure our lives in ways that allow us to slow down enough to live that way, to love that way, to lead that way. This is leadership from the heart. This is leadership from a place of the inner authority that comes from a powerful connection that has been nurtured between ourselves and our inner light, the inner light that connects us with Source. I believe that for humanity moving forward, this is something that we're all going to be on our own timetables learning how to develop. And those of you who are learning it now, I believe are meant to teach other people how to do it. This is sort of like the next evolution for us as human beings, to learn how to live this way, to learn how to live in a way that is no longer cut off from the subtle energies that come from our bodies, that come from other people, that come from our planet. And to be able to use that co-creative energy to take steps in the world that are wise and that are deeply connected with the highest good for all. No more power grabs, no more needing to push this group down in order to elevate ourselves, no more cutthroat competition. This is a whole new way of being. It is evolution, and evolution begins with a vibrational shift, and this is just part of that shift. So yes, I guess the message is go slow, connect with your body, one aligned step at a time, moving forward in the direction of where it is that you're meant to be in your next iteration in the unfolding of your soul's experience here on earth. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.